and utility assistance programs. I'm going to say that again because I just got a message on my screen. So I'm just welcoming everyone and saying good afternoon to everyone, and then welcome to today's panel discussion entitled Fuel and Utility Assistance Program, which we're going to try to keep our panel to about 45 minutes. My name is Maria Mello. I'm director of the Multi-Service Center and your moderator for this panel. So welcome again. And if just a few housekeeping issues, if you would like to use the CART service for closed captioning, please click on the CC and then show the subtitles to turn the captions on. Also, we would want to let you know that although this presentation is being recorded, only the panelists will be recorded and participants will not be identified. So you will not be identified. Today's panel is part of the newly launched Housed in Cambridge Information to Open Doors campaign. It's a collaboration with the City Manager's Office, Community and Development Department, the Human Rights Commission, and the Department of Human Services Multi-Service Center. So Housed in Cambridge is a year-long multi-department outreach. It's an education and information campaign that is designed to promote and inform residents about all things housing and related resources and services. So please share this information with your family, your friends and neighbors, and stay connected through the city's websites and the city's social media platforms. Watch for upcoming panels and let us know what you think would be helpful to hear about and discuss in future panels. Our speakers today will cover important questions such as, how do I prevent my utilities from being shut off? Now that the moratorium has ended, what resources are available to assist with utility arrearages? So we invite you to submit your questions through the Zoom chat question and answer feature. However, if you have a question of a personal nature, this may not be the best venue to ask them. The panelists' contact information will be provided at the end of the presentation. And if you want to follow up with one of them on a one-on-one basis, you can call the information that will be listed. And so I'm going to turn it over now to Crystal Rosa so she can explain a little more about the logistics of the webinar and how to use the question and answer feature to submit questions.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. And I'm just going to switch to the next slide here. There we go. So to answer or to ask questions, you'll see the Q&A box down at the lower panel. If you hover over, I guess it would be the center of your screen, and only presenters will be able to view your questions. We will be answering questions either throughout the presentation or at the end of the presentation, depending on time. And you can submit your question anonymously. Just make sure to click that option. And as Maria said, you will be provided resources and more information after the webinar within a few days. So we will also give this link out too. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let the pros talk.
Thank you, Crystal. So let's get started. Today we have Claudia Cruz. She's the Fuel Assistance Summer Food Manager, and Kevin Scott, Accounts Manager with the Fuel Assistance Office. Can you tell us a little bit about what is it that you do at the Fuel Assistance Office, Claudia?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Claudia Cruz, and I am the manager for the Fuel Assistance Program and the Summer Food Program. We assist families that are income eligible with their heating bill, and I've been working for the city and doing this program over 21 years.
Thanks. Kevin, you want to say a few words about who you are?
Sure. My name is Kevin Scott. I am the accounts manager for Fuel Assistance, and I've been working here with the city now for 7 years.
Okay, thank you. So we have a few questions that I'll be sort of asking questions, and Claudia and Kevin will be taking turns responding to the questions that I have. Some of them might be a little bit more lengthy, but others will be quick. So I'm going to ask Kevin the first question, which is, please explain what the utility moratorium was and what it means now that it's ended?
Sure. So the winter moratorium is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts put in place a utility winter moratorium, which was basically it prevented any shutoffs from happening for anybody that carried an arrearage with their utility companies. So that winter moratorium or that utility moratorium has ended as of July 1st. So anybody that was carrying an arrearage through that time that still has one with whichever utility company that they have, either Eversource or National Grid. The utility company now has the right to come out and shut their services off. So that is basically what Fuel Assistance, we help to try to prevent those types of situations from happening.
Thank you, Kevin. Next question goes to Claudia. Please describe what you should do if you receive a shut-off notice.
The first thing that they should do is contact the Fuel Assistance Agency to see what type of funding, if they're eligible to apply for our program, if we can assist them with any benefit amount. Also, the second best thing to do is contact your utility company directly and try to work a payment plan. There's different ways that we can help out here at the office. And I will recommend for you just to call our office right away.
Okay, so if someone receives a shut-off notice, they should call the Fuel Assistance Office for information and assistance and possible referrals.
Correct. We can, guide them how we can prevent the shut-off from happening. We can refer them to other agencies or any funding that we might know that is available for them.
Okay. The next question's going to be for Kevin. Kevin, can you talk a little bit about what resources are available to assist with an overdue utility bill? Particularly looking for you to talk about the New Start program, the discounted rate, medical protections, senior protections, and payment plan options.
Yes. So in addition to the fuel assistance, which does help cover or help with overdue bills and utility bills, there are programs that are offered directly through the utility company. One of them being the New Start program. So in order to qualify for the New Start program, there's a few qualifiers that you have to be checked off. So you do have to be carrying more than $300 worth of arrearages at the time that you're requesting to get on the New Start program, and you also have to be on the discounted rate with the utility company. And then basically the way that program works from there on out is you agree to pay your average bill each month. So it's not whatever you use. It's the agreement would be for the average bill per month, and you would pay that each month on a time frame that you all decide with the utility company. And as long as you keep up with those payments each month, they would forgive a certain amount off of your bill. So the program typically runs for a year. So they would ask you to commit to that payment program for at least a year. And then they would go over the additional details. If they had to do it more than a year, I do believe there's some options for that. It all depends on the person's situation.
I'm going to just recap New Start program. So it is that you have to owe the utility company more than $300. You have to be on a benefit like the SNAP program or receiving free reduced lunch to qualify for the program. They set your rate at a certain amount for a full year so that you agree to enter into this payment plan with Eversource, who's the provider for Cambridge, for 12 months. And with each payment you make, they discount a small amount of money off the bill as well. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. One thing I didn't mention was that I'm sorry. I can. Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry about that. So I can move on to the discount rate now, actually.
Okay, thank you.
So the discount rate right now is with eligible customers for electric, they would qualify for a 36% discount and a 25% discount on their natural gas. And so, as you mentioned before, the program, our fuel assistance program assists with getting people onto the discount rate. And then there are a number of other programs that if you do qualify, you would automatically be placed on the discount rate. And that can be, you can apply directly through your utility company. Um, with the proof of whichever program that you already are on, and they would be able to apply that discount rate. But that is a benefit that's given to fuel assistance customers as well.
Okay. I think the next was the medical protection, Kevin.
Yes, so the medical protection, there are two types of conditions that would qualify you for the medical protection, and that would be an acute or a chronic condition to be determined by your physician. With acute medical protections, you are protected for up to 3 months from shutoff, and with chronic conditions, you're protected for up to 6 months. And that is something that it's an additional form that would have to be applied directly through your utility company. So that is something that we could assist with here at the office with helping you get onto the medical protection.
And the senior protection was the next bracket, Kevin.
Yes, so the senior protection is just that. If you qualify based on your age, which I believe is 65 years or older, you can apply for the senior protection. And it's basically the same type of program where they would not be allowed to shut you off if you're over a certain age. I believe that's 65.
Okay. And then the last topic was the payment plan options. Just if you didn't qualify for any of these, how do you go about doing a payment plan option?
So for those, you would have to contact your utility company to discuss what types of options that they have. But that is something that, again, as advocates, we would be able to assist clients with making sure that they are understanding what they are agreeing to. So that's something that we are happy to help with if a client ever calls and doesn't necessarily want to apply for fuel assistance, they want to do something else, we can try to help them with getting on a payment plan option.
Okay. And then I'm going to go on to the next question, Claudia. Thank you, Kevin. So the next question is, what funding sources are available to assist with overdue bills?
Sure. So there is 4 agencies that can help you try to avoid your shut off. One of us is the Fuel Assistance Office, and the phone number is 617-349-6252. The Multi-Service Center, and the phone number is 617-349-6340. And we also have the Metro Housing, which they have the RAF program right now that can assist you with your utilities. And they recommend for you to apply online. That is something too that we can help you get. If you don't have access to internet, you can call us here at the office and we can help you and assist you getting on a computer and in filling out the application. The phone number that you can call too is 781-422-4204, and just the option number 3, and they will give you the instructions on how to apply over the phone too. We also have the Salvation Army, which is the phone number 617-547-3400. And just keep in mind that every agency has their own application and their own approval process. We all don't follow the same guidelines. And also we can't guarantee funding will be available to the person applying at that moment. We will try our best to assist you in any way to make sure that you do get whatever funding available is out there for you.
Okay. Also wanted to just say that different funding sources might have different income guidelines. So whenever you reach out, you just want to find out what the income guideline is for that program. So thank you, Claudia, for, listing. And it's our hope at one point to have a slide with this information so that people can reach out. But if in case you can't reach out, the Multi-Service Center, the Fuel Assistance Office, we both can provide assistance with reaching out to other resources to find, whether there's funding or whether there's payment plans or whether it's even sort of a discount rate. We both can do that and assist clients who are living in Cambridge. I'm going on to question 5, Kevin, which is, please tell us what services are actually provided at the Fuel Assistance Office. And I know you spoke a little bit about it, but if you could talk about how one applies, when they apply, what's needed to apply, when would someone hear approval, sort of those things would be important for people to know.
Sure, I can touch on all those topics. So for first-time applicants, we typically start taking new applicants in October. With the exception of this past year due to COVID, we were doing applications over the phone, but typically we would have to do a face-to-face interview. So we would set up those interviews starting in October of each year. For returning applicants, we would be sending out a already pre-filled application with their previous year's information on it, basically with the expectation that they make any changes to their application once they receive it. Documentation that we require for new applicants would be a social security card or a birth certificate, some sort of proof of their citizenship or status in the United States. We would need a photo ID, income information, and that can be different for everybody. If they have wages, they'd have to provide pay stubs. If they had social security, they would need to provide an award letter, things like that. We would also need proof of their housing information. So either their lease or if they're a homeowner, we would need proof of their mortgage statement, property tax, water and sewer bill. If they have any rental income, we would need proof of that as well. And then we also need to make sure we collect their utility information, which would be the most important part, just so that we can make sure that we're paying the appropriate accounts and ensuring that they receive their proper benefit. Other programs that we offer, again, would be the discount rate. So that gets applied to clients that are already automatically qualified for fuel assistance. Everything at that point is done electronically. So we send electronic files to the utility companies. So each week we produce a file that gets sent out to the utility company, and they upload that into their system to be done all automatically. Another program that we offer is the WAP program, the Weatherization Assistance Program. And for anybody that's received a weatherization audit, it's basically the same thing. If they'll come in and take a look at your light bulbs, they'll replace your light bulbs if they're old or they're not the LED light bulbs that they recommend nowadays. They would look at your thermostat and make recommendations or upgrades to that as well. But then they can also do things like blown-in air insulation and some additional weatherizing techniques that would all be free of charge to our clients for low-income persons. An additional program would also be the HEART-WAP program. So for homeowners, this is a great program. If your furnace, your heating furnace, were to ever not work, and you were qualified for fuel assistance, you can contact us, and this program would help to cover the costs of a replacement furnace completely, everything paid for by the program. So that's another, but that would only be for the homeowners. Unfortunately, renters aren't able to access that portion of the program.
Okay.
Can I just add something, Maria? Also, our program is based on income. For a family of 4 of this past season that we just ended, the maximum income was $75,201 gross income. So we don't have the income guidelines for the upcoming winter season. And also last year, for the first time for first-time applicants, they were able to start the application online. even though we needed to follow up with a phone call after they apply online, that will be available to them once the program reopens for the upcoming season.
And the season is what time frame to what time frame?
The fuel assistance goes from November 1st of 2021 through April 30th of 2022,
And,
the upcoming season.
and you start applications starting in October. You can open.
Yes, we can start the application in October. Hopefully, we might start earlier than that. We're just waiting for the application to be approved by the state, by DHCD, the Department of Housing and Development. And once we have that approval, we can start with the new season soon, so we can start helping people get on the discount rate if they're not, just to prevent the shut off and try to work any type of payment plan with the companies.
And I just wanted to kind of add a little bit about some people who live in subsidized housing. So one of the things that is important to know is that if you live in subsidized housing, you have to be careful with your utility bills, because if you do have an arrearage, it is possible that the housing authority could terminate your voucher or your subsidy due to an overdue bill. So it's very important to reach out when you have a shut-off notice and let us know. Most times the housing authorities are willing to work with us as long as the person is working on trying to resolve the issue, whether it's a payment plan or the New Start program that we just talked about. So again, if you have a shut-off notice, please reach out, let us know, we'll work with you. It's important. We don't want terminations of Section 8 or voucher programs due to overdue bills. The other thing I did want to mention, I wanted to ask a little bit about is, Claudia, is there is some information on if you have children under a certain age, they're not, that you can't get shut off as well? I'm not sure, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's under 12 months. So as long as they're 12 months and under, they cannot shut it off. We do have to notify Eversource of there's a child in the household, and we can help with that. I know sometimes people run into a lot of problems with trying to send any type of information to Eversource. If they call our agency, we are more than happy to assist them, faxing over, emailing, proof that there's a child in the household, that there is a senior 65 and older, that we can send that information so it gets to the right department, and that will prevent from the shut off happening.
And then one other thing that I thought might be interesting for people to know about is, and I'm not sure, is the continuous billing and how that works with Eversource. Have you? So it's generally, I guess I'll talk about it. It's continuous billing. Sometimes what happens is Eversource can look at how much usage on your utility bill you do throughout the full 12 months, and then comes up with a figure, and that sets your amount monthly. So if it's $60 a month, that you would pay that through the 12 months, that whether it's summer or winter, that's what you would pay, and then you reevaluate every year. So sometimes continuous billing actually works for people who might be having income difficulties, to have it set at a certain amount. So that's another resource that I think people should think about when looking at all the options. I'm trying to see. And
yeah,
so,
that is correct, Maria. That's how they do it. Sometimes too, if you have an outstanding balance and you want to get into they call it like a monthly billing, they will divide what your standing balance is through the 12 months plus your monthly, usage. So it could be a little bit of a higher of a payment plan, but the main thing here is to prevent the shut off from happening. So people should always try to get some type of payment plan just to prevent the shut off, and then try to find agencies that might have funding available and able to assist them. And then the payment plans, if they do qualify for certain programs, the payment plans can go down too. So it's very important to keep that in mind.
and the discount rate also is available on, is it still available online to apply through their Eversource website?
Yes, that is correct.
Right,
Yes.
so you can apply through us and we can help you get on the discount rate, but you can also apply directly through the website, the Eversource website, for funding, for the discounted rate. I apologize, not funding, but for the discounted rate, which sometimes does actually provide a quite a bit of a difference. It makes difference monthly for people. So definitely look into that. So I want to say thank you, Claudia and Kevin, for joining us, but I wanted to open it up to questions. So I don't know if anyone, I don't see any questions in the Crystal
Yeah, so
chat.
there aren't any questions yet, so I'm gonna give some time for anybody to enter. I have a question though. What do you mean by an arrearage? How do you even say that word? Like, what does that mean?
Rearage. So an arrearage is basically just owed utility bill. So it's another word for saying you're behind in your utilities are, and so an arrearage really just means you have a balance owed to Eversource.
Okay, cool. I wanted to make sure that we define that term for people. Yeah, I don't see any questions yet. Are there any additional information that you think people should know about in contacting your services?
Yeah, also that the multi-service center along with Claudia's team can do Metro referrals for people who don't have computer access. And we certainly can do the discounted rate or the New Start, get people on the New Start program. So it's important to reach out, and even if you just have questions and want to know, please reach out to us. We're located pretty centralized. For the multi-service center, we're open every day with walk-ins. So if you can't call us, you can walk in and we can look at whatever billing you may have from Eversource and try to figure out what the next steps are. Claudia, did you want to add anything more on your end?
No, I mean, mainly I would say, don't be afraid to contact us. We're more than happy and willing to help you and guide you on how you can prevent the shut off. Sometimes, it's people get frustrated from calling agency to agency, but we're more than happy to contact the agency on your behalf and try to see if they have any funding available. We work very close with the multi-service center. And we refer people back and forth, just trying to make things easier for clients. We also have email addresses that, if you can't come in and you need to submit documentation, we're making things easier nowadays. So please don't be afraid of calling the agency, and we're more than happy to help you.
Right. Hey, Crystal, I still don't see any questions, so I think that's it. I don't know if you can kind of go on to the slides, but I do want to say thank you all for joining us today.
Sure. 1 second though. Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen before you say goodbye. I'm going to also share where people can get more information about the next panels. So bear with me for a second. Okay. So making sure I'm not on mute still. Okay, cool. Let's see here. So here's the contact information for Fuel Assistance and Multi-Service Center and the Housing Liaison, and everyone will be receiving these in their email thank yous as additional resources. But I want to make sure that people are aware that the Housing Liaison has a website now, a landing page. And this is where everyone can get the information about Housed in Cambridge. Let me scroll up. So it'll be under services and I want to, and it'll be about housing information, a little bit about what the office does. And there is a well here, an info well that tells you the upcoming events. So the next one will be August 3rd and then September 21st. You can click on that for more information. And then we have a housing guide here that you can interact with directly on the website, or you can click on this link and it'll open up another tab, and there covers the questions about affordable housing, emergency housing, housing rights, mediation services, safe and healthy homes, and financial assistance. So this is all on the Housing Liaison landing page. And now you can close it out, Maria. Thank you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Thank you. I was a little ahead of myself there, guys. So thank you. I want to say thank you all for joining us today, and give a special thank you to Denise Gracia for providing the closed captioning. Thank you, Claudia and Kevin, for sharing important information and resources. And hopefully this helps people from preventing their utilities from being turned off. So just Crystal, thank you for always being there behind the scenes, making this all work. So thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.